Good morning. Today is Tuesday, May 19th. I'm Maura Curran here with Town Administrator Jim Boudreau. Thank you very much for joining us. We have some new updates this morning, especially as a result of Governor Baker's announcement yesterday that I will turn over to Jim in a moment. But before we do that, I just wanted to remind you of a couple of things. So this weekend, unfortunately, there will not be a Memorial Day parade. However, our police and fire department will be going to all the graves and placing flags on all of them to honor all of those who have fallen, and that should be completed by the weekend. And we are asking everyone, I know most of us do this anyway, but as a remembrance and honor to all those that have fallen, to fly our flags at half-mast. So that would be really nice. Thank you if you could do that. For those of you who need assistance, the food pantry is open. It's open on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and it's located at the Masonic Temple. You do not have to be a current client, if you will, to take advantage of those services, so please do. They're receiving a lot of donations from the Boston Food Bank, as well as a lot of Scituate residents have been donating money to keep the food pantry stocked, so please take advantage of that. And also SANS, our volunteer group in town, still has face masks available for those of you who would like some. You can go to www.sanshelp.org to obtain those, and they'll put together a volunteer to connect them with you and get that mask over to your house. So with that, we have a lot to cover, a lot of planning to do in the next couple of days with the new announcements, so I'm going to turn it over to Jim so he can cover the plans as a result of the governor's announcement. Jim?
So let's start with our COVID-19 update. Since Thursday, we've had 4 additional cases, either positive or antibody cases. It brings us to right about 100. We have no additional cases at the Life Care Center. They are still at 52. And we have 4 cases reported now at the Cardigan Nursing Home out of their 50. I believe they've finished their testing. We're waiting for a couple results back, but at this point, their numbers are actually pretty good, 4 out of 50. So that's good. The real good news we have in talking with our Board of Health Director, since April 29th, all the cases we have had have either been at the nursing home or at an address where we've had previous cases. So that means the social spread in Scituate has been good, hasn't really been happening. That means people are doing their social distancing, they're wearing their masks, they're doing what they're supposed to do, following the rules. That's good. We need you to keep it up. One thing we did want to talk about again is, if you see someone who's not wearing a mask, you don't know what that person's underlying medical conditions are. So if someone has an underlying medical condition, they're not required to wear a mask. So don't just assume they're violating the rules. Don't just assume they're being bad. If there's questions, you can always contact the health department and we can help you out. But I know there have been some instances of people getting yelled at and mask shamed that have pre-existing conditions and can't wear masks. So we want to make sure that people wearing their masks and sensitive to the fact that not everybody can wear a mask. The big news yesterday is the governor came out with what looks like the 4 phases of who gets to open and what gets to open when. There's a lot to unpack there, and we are going through that. Phase 1 started yesterday and will go for at least 3 weeks, so June 8th will be phase 1. Phase 2 starts after that. Restaurants are not to at least phase 2. So the restaurants will be made closed for seating, but can still do takeout. The good news is barbershops and hair salons open Monday. Car washes, pet grooming. Retail can do curbside pickup and delivery, no in-store browsing. That'll also be a phase 2 for retail. Libraries will be able to start doing curbside pickup. Our library will be coming back in starting next Monday. They are working on a plan to do the curbside pickup. So it's not going to be in place for 5/25, but we'll have that in place shortly thereafter to do safe curbside pickup. So they're talking of different parks. Some parks can open, some parks can't. Basketball courts maybe can open, but only 1 or 2 people can play. You can actually have a basketball game. You can shoot, but only with your family. So we're still unpacking a lot of those requirements, and we'll have more updates for that on Thursday's update. But they did issue guidelines for the beaches. We will be instituting those guidelines. You must maintain social distancing, 12 feet between blankets, towels to allow people to transit between them. If you cannot social distance, you have to wear a mask on the beach. You do not have to wear a mask in swimming, obviously, but again, if the beach gets crowded and you can't social distance, you're going to have to put a mask on. Right now, the board at the last selectmen's meeting in our discussions about beaches did not want to start restricting parking as of yet, so we will not be putting those barriers in place. If people are able to follow the rules, then we will not have to do that. If they can't, then we will start to reduce the parking at the beach in order to restrict the number of people. So we ask you to continue being good, doing what you're supposed to do. The beaches, we've never really closed them. They officially will open in June. We'll have lifeguards out there in June. We will have the porta potties starting this weekend. The rule is that the porta potties must be cleaned daily. We have put that contract in place with our vendor. It's relatively expensive, but it's something that we will do. If you're waiting in line at the porta potty, the guidelines are specific. You must maintain social distancing 6 feet in the lines. So we're going to get those all in place. We have a call this afternoon just to knock those down. There's no organized ball playing or game playing allowed on the beaches. No football, soccer, cam jam, spike ball, volleyball, frisbee. It's passive beach recreation. We will be posting all those guidelines on the town's website today for beaches. We will also be posting the matrix of what can open, when they can open on our website. We'll also put the link to the state website, which is still on there, mass.gov, COVID. You can go in and drill down to a specific business, a specific entity that you want to know whether it can open. We got some questions about the dog park. I just haven't got that far into the regulations to know about the dog park, but if the dog park does open, it will be with the same stuff regulations, and you'll have to social distance. If you can't social distance, you have to wear a mask. And if people can't obey those, then we will just end up blocking the dog park again. But we'll be able to make that determination and announcement on Thursday about the dog park. The marinas, we received guidance on April 27th about opening the marinas, which we have done. The new boating guidelines that they came out with yesterday, the launch services will not be able to start running until Monday, 4/25. I don't know why they have that kind of disconnect in there, that they allowed us to open the marinas but not the launch services. But they have put that into the guidelines for 4/25. You'll have to wear a mask because they want only one family at a time, again, social distancing, and then there are a series of protocols for the launch owner that he will have to follow between trips to disinfect and clean the boat. But if you have a boat, the launch service will not be available until the 25th. We will get those guidelines out to the harbor master. He will provide those to people, and we will also post those on our website.
Okay.
So that's where we are with the corona. I spent most of the night just reading through. Again, there's pages and pages and pages and pages. We will make as much of that available as possible. If you have questions, you can call my office. You can call the Board of Health. We'll help you get through it. But for business owners, go to the state website. You can find your particular business, what the rules are, what the regulations are, and how you can open. So barbershops, hair salons are open. Nail salons are phase 2. So that won't be until the 8th. So kind of a patchwork, I think. But we'll get through it. We'll start seeing some opening. Next week, we'll continue our conversations with the chamber and the businesses about what the town can do to help businesses as we reopen. I know there's been a couple of ideas bandied about that I don't want to spill the beans yet, but some ways that we might be able to help businesses, restaurants, and things like that. And we'll announce those as we come to them also. 2 other reminders. The election is June 13th. The hours are 9 to 2. We are still urging people to early vote. Go to the town website under the town clerk. You can download the form, send it in, and get a ballot sent to you. You can come to the town hall. On the right side of the town hall, as you look at the building, the blue doors, there are folders on the doors with the absentee or early voting forms. You can take either one depending upon your circumstances. Take them out, send it back, and we'll get those ballots out to you in very quick order. But we urge you to vote early, if not often. But you will be able to go to the election on June 13th, short hours, 9 to 2. You'll have to wear a mask if you go in. All the election workers will have PPE on. We'll have the disinfectants and things. But anybody that can vote early, please do so. Again, town meeting's been postponed till June 8th. I have a strong feeling we're going to postpone that again until the end of June, until we have some better guidelines. Right now, the crowds are still at 10, no more than 10, and that won't be lifted By June 8th, that'll be the start of Phase 2. We are considering an outdoor town meeting. We're looking at some of those things. I understand Cohasset is looking at maybe a drive-in town meeting at the Social Music Circus.
A drive-in?
So people would be in their cars to allow for social distancing. That's something they're thinking about.
Interesting.
So, but the big thing for me, from a financial standpoint, is really getting a number from the state that we can realistically base our budgets on. Right now, we are predicting probably in the neighborhood of at least a 10% reduction in local aid from current levels. According to the paper today, the state's looking at about a $6 billion revenue shortfall from last year, which means that number could go even higher. And a lot of that's going to depend upon whether the federal government either comes up with another bailout bill or allows the current CARES Act funds, instead of to be used for just COVID-related expenses, they could be used to make up for lost revenue by the states and local governments. We'll see where that happens. But that's a long way of saying that I think town meeting is not going to be June 8th. It'll be later on in June. I do hope to have some town meeting before the end of the year so we can have a budget. We can do some of the capital that we need to get done. But I think it'll be a very abbreviated town meeting with only those really critical items getting taken up, and anything else we'll probably look to postpone to the fall.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, thank you. And I just want to give another shout out to Jim, Drew, our Board of Health, our nurse, our Board of Health, public health nurse as well, and all the department heads. You guys are really doing a great job. It's a lot of information. It changes daily. There's a lot that goes on to managing this and getting the procedures out there to the public. So I just want to say thank you. I don't think people realize the amount of effort and time and worry and concern that you all carry every day to make sure Scituate is safe. And obviously you've done a great job. Scituate's done a great job at flattening the curve, if you will. So kudos to all of you and your department for leading everybody through this. So thank you. And I want to thank the residents. Hang in there with us for the next couple of days. Be patient. I know Friday's going to be warm. It's supposed to be 80 degrees. So really be patient until Jim and the Board of Health puts together the regulations on how we're going to handle the beaches. Go to the website, take a look. We want to make sure everybody can be safe but also enjoy Memorial Day weekend. We know it's a big weekend here, but we want to make sure that we don't do anything to put us in a situation where the curve starts to rise again.
Yeah, we don't want to start opening and then have to close back up.
Nope,
and,
we want to do it right.
We can tell in my office the last week or so, the calls that are coming in, that people are getting frustrated.
Yeah.
I don't blame them. I'm getting frustrated. It's not easy.
It's a long time.
But we ask you to just be patient a little bit longer, that, the doors open a little bit, and we're seeing some light come in, that people can get back out. Again, what happens at the beaches will be dictated by the residents of Scituate. If they can go out and enjoy the beaches and be responsible and do what needs to be done, then we will not have to restrict people at the beaches. If we can't, then we're going to have to, the town will then have to take steps to enforce some of these regulations. And we don't want the police out there as the beach police. And just, if the beach is really crowded, unfortunately, my advice would be try a different beach, come back later, but enjoy it safely.
So case in point, the golf course, that's been going pretty well, managed
Golf course has been
right?
fantastic. We've had a lot of people out playing golf. The new POS system should be up and running this week, which will allow us to better take reservations and payments online, which we've had some of the issues with. But the golf course has been crowded. I went by this morning at 7:30. There's already guys out playing golf, or women out playing golf. So they're enjoying it. They're following the rules, and we'll be able to keep doing that as long as everybody follows the rules. So the same thing would be for the beaches. If people follow the rules, it'll be great. And as things get better, those restrictions will be relaxed a little bit better. And hopefully, as the weather gets warmer and warmer, we'll be able to enjoy the beaches in a manner more like we're used to as the summer comes along.
Right. Okay.
And nothing on, I know we've gotten calls about the pools and the Knights of Columbus pool, and nothing on that.
Nothing on that yet.
That I've seen. I'm only about halfway through the pile of stuff, but I haven't seen anything on that yet.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, and stay safe and be well, everyone. And check the website, and also Thursday's update, I think there'll be a lot more detail. So thank
Yeah,
you very
one more
much.
thing, just I have to wish my daughter a happy birthday a day
Oh.
later. Birthday was yesterday. I told her I would do it on the video yesterday, but we didn't do it, so
Uh-oh.
happy birthday, Maddie.
Happy birthday, Maddie.
And we'll see everybody Thursday, and we'll have some more stuff for you then.
Great. Thank you.